If you're putting in work on your conditioning, but you're not seeing game day results, then this video is for you. We're going to break down exactly how to structure your rugby conditioning throughout the year, the off season, the pre-season, and the in-season. So you're not just training harder, but you're training smarter. Plus, I'll give you a sample weekly structure for each phase and some common mistakes to avoid as well. So why does structure actually matter? Well, when it comes to conditioning, most rugby players are going to fall into one of two traps. They either go too hard with no structure or program, which leads to burnout, overtraining, or injury potentially, or it's the other end of the spectrum and they don't do enough, especially in the playing season, and you end up losing the fitness that you build. The key isn't always doing more, it's doing the right kind of conditioning at the right time. So let's take a look at each phase of the rugby season. Firstly, we've got the off season, and this is your time to build foundational fitness. The goal here is to increase your aerobic capacity, stay lean, and recover from last season's load, which is easily doable due to the available time and energy from having no matches or team trainings. You're going to want to focus on continuous training, and this can be on feet or off feet. It's as basic as it gets and is a clean, safe aerobic capacity builder. A bonus to this method is it helps you stay lean the longer you do it. Don't be fooled by thinking that continuous training doesn't help rugby because it's not specific enough. We are training for the adaptation of aerobic capacity that's going to help you be a consistent 80-minute rugby player. General training isn't always bad. We can also do longer interval sessions here, such as 4 minutes hard and 1 minute easy. And this is great for capacity and neuromuscular benefit as well. It helps the extremities stay resistant to fatigue. And finally, tempo runs are a great tool. For example, 100 meters every minute on the minute, focusing on smooth running form and getting up to a good speed. I'm a really big fan of these style of running as they are safe and they really help to improve your technique for running as well, making you a more efficient rugby player. Keep it consistent, keep it low risk, and steadily progress through simple measures like total distance completed or the duration of your efforts. Moving into the pre-season, and now we move into more intensity. This is where we ramp it up. We've got interval style training, and this is great here in the form of shuttles, timed repeated intervals such as 20 seconds work, 20 seconds rest, shorter and higher speed tempo style running, and minute details like adding changes of direction, getting up and down off the floor. Maybe you can add some tackling or wrestling, and that builds your collision tolerance. All of these are going to help to increase the demand on the body. It's absolutely vital here that we ramp up our volume and intensity of the conditioning, especially your running. So increasing the number of reps, the distance of reps, the speed that you perform the rep, and the amount of change of direction is so important to get you ready for game one. Games are also an awesome option here in the preseason. Hopefully your coaches can deliver some condition games that are going to get you fitter, as well as integrating some skill execution and decision making under fatigue. And again, don't forget about the value of continuous training in the pre-season. We can still benefit massively from topping up the engine with steady state hits. And this could be a recovery run on the weekend. It could be just 10 or 15 minutes on a machine to finish at the gym. Repeated exposure to increasing the heart rate and the breathing rate is what's needed to increase fitness and to stay in good nick for your game. And finally, the in-season. During the season, your conditioning should support. It should not compete with your rugby performance. And the hope here is that your rugby training is going to give you enough of a blast that you can maintain your fitness level throughout the season. Short and intentional conditioning sessions around your trainings and games is enough to make sure you improve, as long as you've put in some effort in the off and the pre-season. Simple tempo or interval runs give a clean and safe hit to keep your aerobic system ticking over. I always suggest doing these around your team trainings as a finisher, or around your gym sessions as a finisher, so it is time efficient and it gives you more opportunity for recovery. Again, continuous top-ups are really useful in the season. Recovery becomes a massive emphasis, so be smart. Use active recovery in the form of maybe a steady aerobic flush session or a continuous session. And this is going to kill two birds with one stone, your recovery and your conditioning. You can also be smart with your conditioning around your game time and your fixtures. If you have a week off, let's say, or you play a significantly reduced amount of minutes in the game, well, there's space in those weeks to push a bit harder with your conditioning. So you may want to add in some high intensity intervals or maybe some small-sided games with other teammates on these weeks to ensure that you are up to speed with the competition. The goal here is to stay sharp, to recover well and avoid any unnecessary fatigue. So always think top-ups and recovery. Avoid those massive blowouts and spikes in load. So let's look at a few quick sample weeks that you can know exactly how to structure your year of conditioning and also what drills you can use to make those gains in your fitness level throughout. So your first session in the off season, let's say it's on a Tuesday, is a speed and conditioning session. Here you can do some tempo runs, maybe 100 to 120 meters, depending on your fitness level, and you'll go every minute on the minute. You do 8 reps, you can rest for 2 minutes after you've done your 8 reps. In this rest, you can do some skill development potentially, and then repeat for another 2 or 3 times. Thursday, we've got an off feet session and we're going to do some long intervals. For example, 4 minutes hard, 1 minute steady for 6 reps total. And then on the weekend, you might go for a continuous run, anywhere between 30 to 60 minutes. We're aiming for a pace where you can speak in full sentences. Our preseason example, on the Monday, you might want to do a 10-minute top up on a machine after you've done your weight session. Tuesday, we're down at training. We're going to do some intervals, 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off. We can just do this as straight shuttles on a pitch, or you could maybe aim for 40 to 50 meter returns in the 20 seconds or maybe less, with the remaining 40 seconds as rest. This is up in the intensity into those interval style trainings. Wednesday, we maybe do another top-up session. This time we might do an interval session on a machine and we'll do 10 seconds of maximal effort and 50 seconds nice and steady away to develop the aerobic power. We could do 10 to 15 reps here depending on how much time you've got. Thursday, we're down at training again. You're going to play some games at team training. These are going to be conditioned games where you can get your work rate up and also work on your skill and decision making. And on the weekend, when you get some spare time, you can go to do another speed and conditioning session. This time, we're shortening those tempo runs, 20 to 30 meter. And this time, we're going to add a change of direction to add some demand. So 20 to 30 meter returns, and we're going to go every 30 seconds on the 30 seconds. You can do 12 reps. Again, you can rest for 2 minutes, do your skill, and then you can repeat for another 2 or 3 sets. And the in-season example. On the Monday, again, we're going to look at a 10-minute top-up on the machine post-weight session. On the Tuesday, we're just going to do a short interval hit post-training. Friday, we're going to do another 10-minute top-up on a machine post-weight session. This is going to be low load, low fatigue. It's not going to affect your readiness for game day. We're going to play on Saturday, and then Sunday you might do an active recovery session. So a 30-minute swim, and also after your swim, chucking in a sauna as well. And this is going to help you recover, and it's going to help top up the aerobic system. Saunas, especially, these are a really good finisher for that reason as well. They help to keep your heart rate nice and high, and they help to recover. So there you have it, just some really, really simple week schedules, but these are flexible. The structure stays aligned with the goals for the stage of the season. You can decide how much extra training you do depending on whether you want to increase your fitness or just keep it topped up and focus on pure performance in your games. Now, here are your common pitfalls to avoid with your conditioning throughout the year. And the 3 major ones I see are: number 1, no progression. We've got the same run, same pace, no tracking and no progression. Constantly doing broken Broncos, Malcolms, all this stuff is going to get really useless really fast. Same as constantly doing a 15-minute bike ride at the same pace and the level. After a few weeks, there's no stress on the body, so there's nothing to recover and adapt to. You've got to progress the training. 2, overtraining, especially pre-season when you don't do a build-up. Don't think you can just rock up to day 1 of pre-season and blast out a massive running session with loads of fast intervals, change the direction, getting up and down off the floor. It's going to hurt, especially if you've sat on your ass all off season. Build up the load. So on the other end of the spectrum, but still under the overtraining bracket, we've got deloads, and deloads are so important here. I'd suggest having an easier week with conditioning when you have important matches or other life stresses happening, like a really busy work week or lots of traveling, or maybe you get sick. Let the body recover and adapt. And number 3, neglecting in-season conditioning. Just because matches are on doesn't mean you should stop. This is the most painful mistake I see in so many players. They've got a great off and pre-season, they get really, really fit. Then the season comes around and they stop. If you don't use it, you lose it. Why waste all that amazing effort just to let it slip away throughout the season? Remember, you only need to keep topping up your conditioning training. You don't need to burn yourself to the ground. So if you want to be fit and match ready all year, conditioning has to match your season structure, and you have to keep training it all year long. Build the base in the off season, ramp it up in the pre-season, and maintain and stay sharp in the season. Save this video to remind you what to do. If you'd like to take the guesswork out and start with a coach-led plan, our 28-day rugby program is completely free. You're going to get a full structured S&C calendar to match your season phase and schedule, and you'll get a coach to help design it around your specific context. Check the link in the description and you can get started today.